Welcome back to CEO Money. I'm Michael Yorba, your host. Thanks for joining us. All right, Dave Mondrus, CEO Thrive, thrive.news. All right, Dave, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Hey, I'm pretty enthused with your website. I got to look at it and seeing what you're doing. Give us background before we get into what Thrive does on you, and then tell us what Thrive does.
Sure. Well, so I was born in Kiev and raised in New York City, and I've been in the blockchain space for about 5 years. And I have the distinction of being, my wife and I have the distinction of being the first couple to get married on the blockchain.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. And so for me, the importance of truth, especially in news and media, can't be overstated. When you grew up in the Soviet Union and you were able to see the way things were there and how much propaganda was there, it's very difficult to see similar things happening here. And so for me, the truth is sacrosanct.
Okay. Tell me about Thrive. How does it work? How does cryptocurrencies evolving with Thrive? I mean, let's go.
Sure. So Trive is a combination of truth and hive. And that's because we believe that artificial intelligence can't solve the fake news problem. It requires humans. And so we use people on both the front end and the back end to both give us stories to verify as well as to do the verification. We compensate them with Trive coin, our own cryptocurrency, because nobody works for free. And then we hash and stash the results on the blockchain so that they're never changed for, forever. So you can always go back and see who did what, when, where, how, and that the information underneath it all hasn't changed either. And I think that's very important. We know that people are able to change information backwards on computers around the world, and so it's important that we have a way to not, to prevent that.
You used to be a writer for Bitcoin magazine, an entrepreneur magazine, so journalism is in your blood, so to speak. Tell me about the journalistic input that comes into Tribe.
Well, so the thing is, though, there is no specific journalistic input. This is just people. So now what we want to do long term is we want to teach people how to do verification, and we want to use techniques similar to what PolitiFact or StopFake or Bellingcat do. And so the last two are focused specifically on the war in East Ukraine and countering Russian propaganda. But they're just people. And so, if you remember the Shia LaBeouf controversy on 4chan, that might be kind of way out there, but the kids on 4chan were able to find a flag in the United States with nothing but a blue sky as a background. And they did it in less than 24 hours. That's an incredible ability. And the ability to do that online is rare. But it's not sustainable. It's not something that they can do forever because, they need to live. So if we pay them and if they make enough money doing that, then that's their job and they can do that forever. And it's important. It's important for us as a society and it's important for humanity, in my opinion.
How do you see this evolving?
So in the long run, what Trive becomes is a DAC. So if you think of Bitcoin, nobody owns Bitcoin, or people own individual pieces, but nobody owns the concept. There's no CEO of Bitcoin. There's no governance. There's no control. And that's the point. And it's really important that Trive becomes that too, because I don't want anyone holding a gun to my head telling me what is and isn't the truth. So we want to make sure that it spins off and becomes a community project, and it's owned by all of the people doing the work in the system. And that's our big focus.
Okay. During the evolution of how you're going, you're stopping fake news. Give me some for instances of things that have happened here.
Sure. Well, so I love 4chan as examples. And so if you know who Shia LaBeouf was or is, he had a protest in New York City called He Shall Not Divide Us. And the guys on 4chan shut that down, and Shia LaBeouf became very upset. And he put a flag up in the middle of nowhere in the United States somewhere. And in less than 24 hours, those guys found that flag. They also managed to do a bombing campaign on an ISIS training camp, believe it or not. So what happened was ISIS released a video showing this is our new training camp. Those guys saw the video and using geospatial clues were able to locate it in the world. And then somebody online had access to the Russian military and called it in. 4 days later, there was a front page post, ISIS training camp destroyed. Those are the examples that I'm looking at.
Now I know there's the TV series off of this concept.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I think the series would be, truth is sometimes stranger than fiction.
Yeah,
I think that if we start diving into the things that really truly exist, we're going to be really surprised by what we find. But that's what's important, that the underlying product is done by people who have no specific agenda. Each individual will have an agenda, of course, but as a group, as a crowd, there shouldn't be an agenda. It should be just a mass of people trying to make decisions. And in the end, I have to believe that people are honest and fair. It's how we are created.
So you're going to be, I mean, this, you could solve crimes, you could cure diseases with this, because of all the input is what I'm getting here.
Right. Well, we think it solves the somebody is wrong on the internet problem. So coming up and sometime later this year, we want to have a product where you can actually have a bet with somebody about a particular piece of information and then have that bet settled. So you're arguing with somebody on Facebook and you think that he's wrong, and you send it off to Trive, and then we do the thing, and then if he really is wrong, he pays you a bounty because you had a bet. And if you're wrong, you pay him.
Wow. All right. So how does somebody start the process of getting involved and becoming a token owner?
Right. Well, Triver.
Triver.
So right now, yep. So right now, what we want people to do is just come to the website and register. Just give us your email address. And then as we're developing the concept, and we'll have a number of launches this year, we'll reach out. And then hopefully sometime later this year, we'll have a token sale, and people will be able to participate in the token sale. But as you know, the token sale concept is kind of having difficulty right now due to legal issues and oversaturation. Right. So we're kind of timing our releases gently. You know, this is a long-term project and a long-term focus, and so we're just trying to make sure we do it right.
How many people are involved with your with Trive now?
We're kind of small. We're only about 5 people at the moment.
No. I mean end users.
Well, so we haven't launched yet. We launched a proof of concept late last year that was kind of a little too difficult for people, and so we pulled it off, and now we're in the process of launching the next version, and we expect that out sometime in the next month or so.
Wow, so you let me scoop the world on this.
Yeah, absolutely. And what we would love is that when we do launch, we would love to have your listeners come in and join us and help us and do the triving, and we'd love to give them tokens for the work and help us to make this thing a success.
I'd like to talk more with you offline about how that can benefit everybody. Sounds great. All right, Dave, thanks for being a guest on the show. Thank you. You're welcome. Dave Mondrus, CEO Trive, TRIVE.news. All right, you've been listening to CEO Money with Michael Yorba. Thanks for joining us. Social media everywhere, podcasts everywhere. Thanks for listening, whether you're in Dallas or Hong Kong. Appreciate all of the positive input you've given to us. We'll talk to you tomorrow.